activities from a child's point of view, I realised that I was showing them from a teacher's point of view, and it wasn't always necessarily clear exactly what they do as a child. And actually, it's really good to see it from a child's point of view. So this is my sample class with my children. So obviously, when you log on as your child, or your child logs on themselves, they can only see their own account. So over here, as you know, they've got their journal where they can post things, just post things to there, post their work. Oops. Okay, back. Then they have their activities that are set, and also they have their inbox over here. So what we are aiming with how we're going to do things now is to keep this number of activities down as low as possible. So you've got a minimum number of notifications, and also it's to keep up with what's actually going on. So the responses to the activities you actually do within the activity itself, because as soon as you do the respond and send it back to your teacher, that then notification should then go down. So I've added a few new activities to this one. So we've got your to do here. We've got the ones that are in progress, and we've got the ones that are finished. Then on the calendar, you can go on there and see how many activities were posted each day. So I've just popped some activities in today because that's when I posted them. So here are the activities I needed to do on Friday. So I've got my maths task, I've got my English main task, and I've got my links on there. So whilst I'm on here, in my links, these are my links for my day, for my activities. So I click on this video here, and it takes me straight to the YouTube clip of Mrs. Pedersen doing her daily count. And click across on there, and you're going to go back to here. We're also going to make sure we try and put on links to other websites, so not necessarily ones, so you don't have to keep flipping backwards and forwards from the planning to click on links. They're all on Seesaw, so you can find everything together. So that's on there. If any of them don't work, please feel free to leave a comment underneath to let us know. We do double check them, but you know, sometimes things happen and they don't work. On here, on this this one here was for Friday. It was the main task. So if we went on our links again, if I look main task, there's part 1, which is the vocabulary lesson, which looking at my plan I would have seen. And then there is, well, it says part 3, but the next part, which is looking at the features of the persuasive text. There's the warm-up slides, and there's the slides on there as well. So if we click on here, these are the model text that I talk about within the introduction to that lesson, and also the features of the persuasive text, which I also read about in the last part as well. If you click on the add response, you get the 2 versions up here. So you've got the main version here, and then you've got a more simple version here. And in the activity, we talk about finding different features of the text. So you can, really good on Seesaw, you can use the highlighter to highlight the different parts that you need. So if you use the highlighter option there, you can still see through. So you could colour code them. So you could do depending on what you want to do. So this here was, I can say that's my statistics bit there. I could say look for some starters, so it might be furthermore, in addition to, things like that. There's a quote down here, so I might do the quote from the child here. Oops. Raised today. We are not marking children in terms of sort of presentation when they're doing things like writing on here, because it is really, really hard, especially if you're on the pen to write using a mouse. If you've got an iPad and a stylus or one of those rubber tip styluses, it might be easier, but it's still not perfect. So we are not going to obviously be cross with any child who it looks a little bit messy. Don't forget, there is also the text box, so you can type answers. Once you've typed a bit different to Word, you have to click out to click in it, and you can resize it, you can change the style of it, and things like that on there as well. You can easily click and shrink it down and actually just add it where you want it. So you can write in it big and then shrink it down and maybe put here what that was for. So that makes it easier in terms of us marking, and it can just be deleted by clicking delete or backspace. There is, like I've said on the other video, there is the chance to voice record. So if you didn't want to type, you could do your start recording, and you could record, okay, my pink highlighter is for the statistics. My yellow highlighter here is for sentence starters. In green, I've highlighted a quote from a child. You can pause it before you do the next bit, but also when you're finished, you can just click done, and that saves a voice note. And as a teacher, we would just click on that and listen to it. If you want to add something of your own at the end, please remember to click add page, because then your response to this activity is saved with this activity. So as a teacher, I can get a view of all the children and who has and hasn't done it. And also for you, especially if you've done it as maybe printed these off and done a photograph of them, add them as an additional page and upload your photo, if you saved it on the computer or on your iPad, because then it will get rid of the notification for that activity. So if you add it as a page, when you've clicked your response, you've clicked that tick, it now has made your activities go down. I've only got 3 activities to do. And then the same, so we go back on the maths. So the maths is a very similar one. On here, on the main part, there are the activities, the main task and the chili challenges, which we go through. So if I click off there, that one's waiting for teacher approval, Zoom meeting. Oh, I know I wasn't in activities. So there's the maths and chili challenges because I'd already done it a minute ago. So on here, I can click across, and there are the activities. We realised this one here was actually a typo. We do apologise. Something happened copying it across. And then when I click on my add response for this one as well, the chili challenges are on here. So there's not always the same thing in the response as there is in the explanation, because often the explanation is some of the teacher slides that we've used on the whiteboard, so that your child can look at those slides while they're watching the teacher video, so they know what's on the whiteboard, because we understand that actually sometimes the glare on the interactive whiteboard means the children at home aren't going to be able to see that on the video. So we hope that helps. So click your tick on there once obviously you've written on it, and then you can see the activities have gone down to 2. So there's obviously 2 more things I need to do. So click on my to-do, links for there. So what you can do on here, once you've used all the links, you can just do, you can just do a smiley face, you can do whatever you like, and you can do a thank you, you can just do a little symbol, a little shape, just anything on there. And then click on your tick. And that's taking your activity down. So we are endeavouring to make sure that each day we only, so there'll be a links video, this is for Key Stage 2, a video link, pay activity, and then also the activities for that day. So hopefully once your child has done what was set for that day on the plan, their activities will go down and the notifications will go down.